Hey everyone, I'm Ryan Henry, idea guy and co-founder of INSPIREsmall.biz, and this is a brand new weekly show that we are streaming live from Refinery 46 in Indianapolis, Indiana. And today our guest is Rebecca Johnson with Golden Heart Senior Care Indy. And before we get to her story, we have some announcements to share with you. All right, good afternoon, everybody. And just a quick reminder that coming up this Friday on July 14th, we have the next Business Spotlight Networking event at Pinheads and Fishers. And we have over 100 people registered now. And your cutoff to register, if you want to be included in the booklet, is this evening, 8:00 p.m. So there's still a little bit of time as we're going here. So this is a brand new show today, and we're live and in person at Refinery 46 in Indianapolis. And today I want to introduce our first guest. Yes, Rebecca Johnson, Golden Heart Senior Care Indy. Rebecca, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Well, hey, thank you for being here for our first episode and helping to make sure that we get things off on a good foot.
Yeah.
So Rebecca, tell us a little bit about your career before you started your business.
Yeah, so before I was in small business, I was an educator in Indianapolis Public Schools and also Decatur Township. I was a teacher, assistant principal, and principal.
Nice. And so what drove your decision to start your own business and get into entrepreneurship?
Well, you know, we took care of my mother-in-law with a group of people for about 16 years, and I found that after we lost her and the pandemic and just commute and all of that sort of thing, it was just really important that I spend time with my family and also support people that are going through some of the very similar things that we were going through and trying to help the quality of life of everyone a lot better.
And so Rebecca, let's talk about how exactly are you helping your clients?
Yeah, so I like to refer to us as a boutique agency because not only do we do all of the non-medical home care that every other home care company does, but we customize it to each client. So we make sure that people are feeling taken care of, that personal touch. I match every single one of my caregivers with my clients to make sure that it's the right fit. I have contact with all of my clients, but not only are we taking care of our elderly clients, but we're also taking care of the families because that's a really important aspect. Many caregivers are burnt out, and they don't even realize how burnt out they are until we come in and take things off of their plate. So I like to connect people to resources, making sure that they feel loved, supported, that they have respite, and also that they are connected to the people that they need to get connected to make sure that their quality of life as well as the client's quality of life is the best.
Nice. And so Rebecca, you mentioned the term respite. Can you clarify a little bit? Because I'm not quite sure myself, and maybe some of our viewers aren't either.
Absolutely. So if you've ever taken care of anyone for an extended period of time, you know that you get worn down. Maybe as you get tired, you get a little bit snippy, or you miss things, or mistakes happen, or people get hurt. And so that respite is just a break. So it's an opportunity for us to come in, do what you do on a daily basis, and let you get out of the house, take a nap, go to grocery store, go out to lunch with your friends, just whatever it takes to help restore some of that balance so that you can be the very best caregiver that you can be moving forward.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so Rebecca, let's talk about what do you love the most about what you do?
So I'll try not to get teary. I get pretty emotionally attached to my clients. And what I love is when I have family members that say, you know, we couldn't have done this without you. You took a load off of me that I didn't even know I had. The clients, you know, I have one client who just adores to give hugs, and she just hugs me and says, thank you so much. And, you know, just making sure that people have a voice in how they age and where they age, and also making sure that they're safe and that they're cared for. It's just, you know, aging is not pretty sometimes. It's really hard. But we are given the unique opportunity to come alongside families at some of the most stressful times in their lives and giving them that support that they need so that they can finish well.
And they don't even have to be ill. It could just be an issue of having someone to come and have that conversation to keep that personal, communication with other humans, right?
I'm so glad that you said that, Ryan. It's so important that you recognize that you can get help early. It doesn't have to be where someone's on hospice or they're dying or things are really bad where you need to transition them out of the home right away. We can give help before that. We can come in and help with the grocery shopping and light housekeeping and showering. Any of those things, we can take those off of your plate pretty early into the aging process, especially if they're struggling with Alzheimer's or dementia. That can be quite a long process. The longevity of the people that are suffering from that is pretty long. And so making sure that we come in pretty early, that gives us the opportunity to even just talk about it. So even if you don't want us to come in and help right away because you don't feel like you need it, even having us come in and making sure that we have all the paperwork in place so that as soon as you need that help, we can give it. It's a really important piece. That education is really important.
Nice. And so most people don't know that there really is a resource that if all a senior needs is someone to help alongside them with their day-to-day activities, they can do it. It doesn't have to be a medical emergency end of life scenario to get help.
Absolutely. So that's one thing that I tell my clients is we're not trying to take away your independence, we're trying to enhance it. And so whatever that looks like, making sure that they have the quality of life that they need and want for as long as we possibly can give it to them safely.
Nice. And so, Rebecca, how can our viewers get a hold of you if they need your help or want to have a conversation?
Sure. You can go to www.goldenheartindy.com. You can call me at 317-550-1276, or you can email me at rebecca@goldenheartindy.com.
Awesome. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for being our guest today on this first episode. And to everyone watching, if you have an aging family member that you care about, give Rebecca a call and start that conversation early. It can help them maintain their independence as well as come in if something terrible were to happen. So everyone, now I'd like to share with you a recent video that had posted to the INSPIREsmall.biz website. Jill O'Boyle, who is the owner of Jill O'Boyle Communications, has a tip to share about the root of what holds people back from their best selves.
And so before I could find myself, though, I really started asking really deep questions and really figuring out, like, what happened? Like, how did I get so far removed from being me? And what I realized was there's two things that go on. And I think this happens with a lot of people, that there's a root problem that keeps people from truly showing up as their true, authentic self. And those are two things. They're the two P's: people pleasing and perfectionism. All right. So people pleasing. So it dawned on me that, I kind of said that, I alluded to, like, I was living my life for other people. So what happens is we don't want to be our true, authentic self, because what happens is we try to just dim our light. We try to dim our light to fit in, to make other people feel comfortable. We start not showing up as our true, our authentic self for the fear of what other people may say. And so then we start just saying yes. Like, I became this just yes girl. I was saying yes to all kinds of certain situations, places, things that I had no part being in. But it was because of this fear of what others would think if I really said what I really wanted to say, speaking my truth. And so we just hold back. We mute our voice. And so then on the other end is this perfectionism. And if you're a high achiever, if you fall in Enneagram, if you follow the Enneagrams, like I'm an Enneagram 3, right? We are high achievers. So that perfectionism, like, it comes up all the time. And so it's this fear of just not being good enough. It's this misperception of what success is. And that's what you heard in my earlier story, is that I just had this vision that in order to be successful, I got to be perfect. Well, what is perfect? It does not exist. Actually, it does exist. It's you. You are perfect. You are whole. You are awesome just the way you are. It's not something you can obtain because you already have it. It's already inside of you. But what we do is we settle for this, I'm not good enough. We hear the voices of that, and then we just start comparing ourselves to other people. And then that sends us on this trail of thinking, oh, well, you know what, that worked for them, so let me try that. Well, that'll never work, right? Because that's their story, that's their life, and that's what they're probably in their authentic gift. You have your own journey and you need to stay there. And so I found that in this people pleasing and perfectionism, the common denominator here is what? It's really fear. That's all that is. And fear, oh my gosh, fear will hold you back from being your true authentic self time and time and time and time and time again.
Everyone, make sure you join us this Wednesday, July 12th, for the first of a two-part workshop that we're putting on with Sarah Kendrick, who's the owner of Rhea Services, the pre-planning workshop for business. During this two-part workshop, we're going to use Sarah's new guide, Pre-Planning for Business Workbook, where you'll put together all of your information so that your business could continue to run without you if something were to happen. Your business partner, family member, or other designated person could come in and pick up where you left off. And that's this Wednesday, July 12th, 2 o'clock p.m., and it will also be the 26th of July for part 2. Registration for that workshop is $475, and you can find the link for that on our website. Also on Friday, July 14th, again, a reminder about Business Spotlight, 11 o'clock a.m. at Pinheads in Fishers, Indiana. Over 100 people are now registered, and you have until 8 o'clock p.m. this evening to get registered if you would like your information included in the workbook. Everyone who attends this event will get 45 seconds on the microphone to tell the whole room who they are, who they're looking to meet, and what they do for their customers, so don't miss it. Coming up on Tuesday, July 18th is our next in-person workshop here at Refinery 46, 10 o'clock a.m., Freedom from Fear of Public Speaking. So during this 2-hour workshop, you'll learn tips about how to give a great presentation in front of any size audience. And finally, the next Business First Network meeting in Greenwood, Indiana is on Wednesday, July 19th at Old National Bank, 900 State Road 135 in Greenwood. And our discussion topic for this meeting is, what devices do you use to complete your work? Next, I'd like to share with you a recent video from John Bayard with J. Gout Group, who was a speaker on our Monday Networking on Zoom, and he shared some tips on how to build business credit.
So why does a business need business credit? So you don't have to use personal guarantees and put your personal credit at risk. And obviously make sure your financial well-being and that of your family is not at risk. When you have business credit, your credit on the business is usually 3 to 10 times that what you could possibly get on your personal credit, even more. We see up to 100 times more business credit available than you'd ever get using your personal credit. And realistically, it actually lowers insurance premiums and gives you access to to hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit when you need it. So personal credit scores have no impact on business funding approvals. You can use business credit for most of the tangible goods of your business. You can achieve financial freedom, separating yourself and your family from the financial aspects of the business. So personal credit versus business credit. Scores build automatically. Obviously we all got to offer for a credit card for $500, and as we used it and charged things and paid it off, our credit scores went up. We didn't really do anything intentionally to build the credit. It just happened, right? But a business credit score is built intentionally. You have to actually identify the vendors that report when timely payments are made. And your score is 1 to 100 on the business at 2 of the 3 credit bureaus. So it's not the same with business credit. Personal credit, like I said, builds on its own. Personal credit accounts report your payment history, proves your credit worthiness, balance available to you increases, right? So it's built passively. You've not done really anything other than use the credit. But you must, like I said, intentionally establish and build a business credit profile.
Everyone, thank you for tuning in this week. Join us next Monday when our guest will be Joy Dossie from the south side of Indianapolis, and she's going to join us to share her entrepreneurial story. And if you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest content from INSPIREsmall.biz. And if you yourself are in the process of starting a business or trying to take your business to the next step, consider becoming a member. I'm Ryan Henry, Idea Guy for INSPIREsmall.biz. Thanks for watching.